Geo Barth, 21 years old, live in Anchorage, Alaska, and I'm trying to change the world. I want to start a nonprofit organization with a group of my peers. I see the potential of our actions to have huge impact on the world that we live in and for the world that future generations are going to live in. So I guess it all really started with me realizing that I needed to figure out what I liked and what my personality was like, and to see what my strengths and weaknesses were before I started going about trying to change the world and change everybody. So before looking outwardly, I looked inward towards myself and asked myself these questions, and really took some time to sort of isolate myself and put myself in a position where I could answer these questions without outside influence and answer them truthfully and honestly. And so basically I wrote down a list of all the things that I really liked and that I enjoyed in life, the things that brought me happiness and fulfillment. And so those things were really basic needs. I mean, basically socializing with people, having a creative output for myself, eating really good food, and just various recreational activities. And so I looked around at my peers and I realized that a lot of us were really overwhelmed with our options. When you grow up and you have basically a blank canvas to do whatever you want with your life, that's a daunting task, and especially at the age of 18 or 16. I think that's a lot to ask. And so I wanted to create an organization where we would sort of target those budding individuals and hopefully give them enough inspiration and give them enough insight into using our resources properly that we could improve our way of life. Because up to this point, mankind has been making huge leaps in technology and healthcare, knowledge, you name it. We've been exponentially growing. And so I think it's time that we're ready for a cultural renaissance. So, I mean, if you think back to the art renaissance in Europe, that was an amazing time. We still talk about those times. And right now I think that we live in a time and place where our culture is rich and beautiful and full of really interesting and amazing people. And I think it's time that we stop sort of worrying about all the negative things. I mean, still confront those negative issues, but at the same time, do it in a way where we're positively changing the world. I see our global youth as basically our viewers. And how is that kid in Arizona or in Mexico going to know that skateboarding is going to be his passion if he's never seen that rock star skateboarder do that crazy trick that's going to inspire him and start that sort of domino effect for the rest of his life? Basically what I want to do with Culture Matters is implement the same impact that snowboarding and skateboarding has had in the last 20 and 30 years in America and the world, and I want to shine that same light and use those same techniques towards everything, towards things that people don't even know that they're passionate about, and give them sort of a channel to go to where, hey, if you're bored or you just wake up in the morning with your bowl of cereal, or you're about to go to bed, you just finished your homework, you go onto our YouTube page and you find an interesting video that you're like, oh, wow, cooking. I've never been really interested in cooking. And all of a sudden you're taken across the world to this young kid who's slaving over the stove day and night, going out early in the morning, buying fresh produce and creating beautiful food. And you're like, wow, I want to do that. I didn't even know that was something that people do. But you have that image imprinted on your mind so that when you do wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning and you go to the grocery store and you have that image of that other person, you're inspired by them to do something great. I think that it's going to be infectious. It really is. I think that the idea that we have is infectious, and the people that are going to be involved with it are going to be infectious. And hopefully it's something that spreads all around the world.
Start dreaming when when she leaves at night, and I wish there was something we knew to do. I'm Shane. My name's Shane Russell. I am a 21-year-old here in Anchorage, Alaska, born and raised. Love it up here. I've been a musician all my life. I've played drums since I was 5. Well, since I can remember, but I got my first set when I was 5. I picked up a guitar maybe like 7 years ago and just been really going at that, writing my own music. Me and Gio, about 2 years ago, we kind of reconnected. We went to high school together, and we kind of found, you know, after you get out of high school, you realize, wow, all those friends you kind of have class with, maybe not really your friends, but just kind of hanging out with them just because they're at school and they're at kind of your disposal, as you would say. You kind of pick in between the good and the bad, and hopefully once you grow up you find out really who's there for you, and the good friends are the ones that really count, and they're there for you. So me and Gio kind of found each other again and realized that hey man, let's do something about all these kind of cool people we meet, and get this out there. We have to have a positive energy in our life, and this is something that helps us kind of reach out and grasp other people. My part, basically, that I know that kind of Gio has hopped on and realizes, my kind of social circle of people is really, it has to range. When you have friends, you have your circle of kind of sports friends, you have circles of art friends and music friends, you have circles of older friends, you have circles of younger friends, you have family friends, you have all these different areas that you grasp onto and you have connections with your whole life, and you hope to hold on to. And so with that, I have always kept my music end of this really strong and tried to incorporate people that are just starting music, whether I can help them, and doing whether music lessons. I've taught younger kids that I babysit, and but otherwise just other people that say, hey, I want to play, and I was like, the only way you can get better is play with other people. So I have a studio here in my basement, and have a full recording setup as well too, and so basically it's just a place to bring all those friends from those friends groups together, whether you play music or you don't. The people that come to watch love it, and it's enjoyable, and it brings, you know, happiness and all the good things, good energy into the mix. So I like to bring people together in that, because that's kind of my culture, and that's, music is an everyday thing for me. So with my part in gathering kind of musicians and gathering these people together, that's what Culture Matters is about. I feel that we have an idea that can reach broadly to all sorts of areas, whether it be sports, whether it be a cool kind of urban snowboarding scene, whether it be a cool underground basement garage band, whether it be some artists that are just trying to make it and they're really awesome, but they don't really know where to find that start. And everyone needs to know where to find a start, and as soon as you start doing it, the opportunities come, they come in, and you make connections, and that's really what it's all about, is connecting with other people. With Culture Matters, and what we're trying to get across as an idea more than anything, is just that you should pick up a hobby, pick up something that you can, you know, kind of call yours and connect with other people with, whether it be art, whether it be music, whether it be sports, whether it be really anything. There's no real limit to this. It can be, you can want to play board games with your friends a couple days a week, and that's kind of what you got going for you, whether you have a book club, whether you are talking just maybe intellectually with somebody, and you'll realize, like, wow, I didn't just talk about the last movie I saw, I'm talking about something that I think is going to make my life better, or maybe I was complaining about something, but after talking it out with somebody, these are simple things that we do every day, but yet when you kind of focus in on them and realize that's what gets you to the next step, or that's what gets you to overcoming a problem you had by talking it out with somebody, you know that that's sometimes the best thing. So making those connections, talking with those people that want to talk to you and are not trying to push their own agenda, and you're not trying to push yours. You're trying to have an honest conversation with one another and trying to get kind of something new out of each other, because, you know, you learn something new every day, and you want to bring it on as much as you can. Spotlight of his eyes makes my sunglasses dim. I fell in love
soy.